Hi everyone, Veno here, and this is the last part of the Bleed Multishot with the Marksman. I'm currently level 99 and I'm not capped, as you can see, at all resistances, but it would take some time to find better gear to get capped at all resistances. I could get capped, but I didn't want to spend any more time. I just wanted to show you the build. You will have a link in the description where you will find the guide with everything you want to take for the items, idols, blessings, and the passive points. If you want to check it out, just look at the link in the description. In that guide you will be capped at all resistances. You'll have more dodge rating. You'll just have to be luckier to find items or at crafting, or maybe you want to trade with other players. Okay, let's get into it. So this build was a poison and bleed at the beginning, but in the end I went for bleed with multishot because you cannot scale very good with poison. You only have here the toxic gift, but with bleed you can scale because this is a physical skill and bleed scales with physical damage. So we're playing with flurry with bleed. Here I will respec and take this node here, two points here. I forgot to respec, but in the guide everything will be as it should be. Then we take this node for attack speed with vile tactics, for bleed chance, lethal vector, and reopened wounds. And also we take adrenaline rush with giant slayer because we will use flurry for the rare monsters and also bosses. Also we will take this node here for extra duration and this one for +2 to maximum stacks, and also here for bleed chance. In the guide you'll see you will get to 25 if you will find better gear to level 25, and then you can add 2 points here, and also you can add some points here, or maybe another one here, wherever you want. You can check the guide and you'll have everything explained there. For multi-shot, as you can see, you have attack speed here and here with chance to gain haste back to back. That gives us double shot every 8 attacks. This node for piercing enemies, and also efficient draw for mana efficiency, and also this one for snipping for damage. We have shift as a traversal skill. We take it with velocity for increased mana efficiency and cooldown recovery speed. Also we take this node for bleed chance and bleed duration and penetration with bleed, and I took these points for extra health, and this one for mana gain on use. Moving on to the smoke bomb, we'll take the points for the area, these two, and the one for duration. We take concealed carnage for extra bleed chance per crimson shroud, and also we have this shrouded in darkness that gives us some defensive layers. And for the last points we will go to the armor shred stacks. For decoy we take the mana efficiency point to get to sonic detonation, and from there we go to ear shatter. We get armor shred from these two, which is pretty good for for a physical build. Also we want backup body to have 2 decoys that we can use, and then we also take Into the Shadows all 4 points for extra dodge while we have a decoy. So these are the skills that we use. Basically we attack with multi-shot, we clear the map, and for rare monsters and bosses we mainly use flurry. Moving on to the passive skill tree. At the rogue passive tree we take Swift Assassin for attack speed and physical damage. We need a lot of attack speed to stack a lot of bleed on our opponents. From there we go to Little Cadence. We get this damage buff every third attack, and every third attack we also get 5 stacks of bleed. We take Steady Hand, it's good, we need dexterity, our skills scale with dexterity, and also we get some health. And also we get 1 point here for dodge rating, just for going here to evasion. This will give us less damage taken while moving and increased dodge rating. We take all 5 points here. It's a very good defensive node that we can really use. And also we take Sapping Strikes, 2 points here to sustain our multi-shot. When we get to 0 mana we will use Flurry to get back our mana. We will get 4 mana on hit. Moving on to the Marksman, we have Draining Arrows that gives us 40 health per hit, and also a lot of attack speed. Focus Fire for dexterity and dodge rating debuff. And on the second row we use Concentration. We play with Concentration for extra damage, and also we have dodge rating. With this point, that the dodge rating is not related to concentration, so we have this dodge rating of 200 even if we don't have concentration. We only have on this point minus 40% concentration cooldown, so that is related to the concentration. And from there we move to increase dodge rating with concentration 25% and movement speed with 10%. Next we take barbed arrows for chance to inflict bleed on bow hit and increased physical damage, very good for bleed. And also sharpshooter that gives us increased bow damage per stack 25%. This means that at 10 stacks we have 250% increased bow damage. We take 4 points here, and we go here to take 3 points for the armor shred chance per stack, 12% at 3 points. So 12% at per stack at 10 stacks means 120% chance to armor shred. Also we have this node that we only take 7 points. I have to put another point here when I get to level 100. This is a defensive one. We get less damage over time taken, and also we get some more damage over time while wielding a bow. So this is very good for us. And I took some notes at the Falconer. I took Raptor's Wings, chance to gain haste 10%, and more damage with haste is 5%. As I said, here we have Hang Loose that also gives us a chance to gain haste plus 15%. And these two nodes combined will give us 25% chance to gain haste with multi-shot. Basically we'll have haste all the time. Then we took 2 points here, so we can move to the stamina of the rover. This gives us dodge rating and mana regen. Also at 4 points we get a bonus mana gain on dodge 5, so we get 5 mana when we dodge. And also from here we can go to Outlander's Tenacity for extra dodge rating, and also an important one, maximum health gained as endurance threshold. This will make us tankier. Let me show you. We have 719 endurance threshold by using that that point, that node. So these are the passive points. Moving on to the gear, we are using 3 uniques that I transformed to legendary. These are not the best yet, but you can see the best items you can have on the guide that you will find in the description. Basically, you will need Thorn of Slinger that gives us +1 to physical skills, chance to bleed, movement speed, and also increased throwing attack that doesn't work with our build, but we really need this belt for the physical skills, chance to bleed, movement speed, and also damage reflected to attackers. This is not mandatory, but I think it's very good to combine it with another belt that has good stats. Also, an important one is Valdir's Chalice. Here I really want to combine it with another relic that has flurry, and maybe tier 7 flurry that gives us +4 to flurry. That would be nice, but this unique relic is kind of mandatory for the build because it gives us bleed on hit, increased bleed duration, physical damage over time leached as health, and 20 health gained on kill per stack of bleed on the target. This means that when a target dies with 10 stacks of bleed, we will heal for 200 health. This is very good to sustain our life on the echoes. Then we have Blood of the Exile, again very good for our build. Increased movement speed, increased bleed duration, 38% more physical alignment element damage to moving enemies. This means that the enemies will take more damage while they will run after you. This is very good because we'll be moving constantly. Also, it gives us strength, dexterity, and intel. We don't use intel and strength, but it's really good to have them. And dexterity gives us dodge rating and also damage. As you can see, I only had a tier legendary potential on these boots. I get the health for the endurance, that is very good. Here I have the flurry and endurance threshold, and here the health that we're using, it's not very good, but I don't have a better one with more forging potential, so for now I will use this. Let's move on to the other items. These gloves with endurance as an implicit, damage over time, dodge rating, and endurance as well. Not the best. As you can see, endurance is tier 1. I don't really need more because I'm almost kept at endurance, so definitely can find better gloves here. Again, this ring is not finished. We have only tier 1 endurance threshold here, but I use it for the tier 7 increased physical damage, dexterity, and dodge rating. Also, it gives me fire res, and as you can see, I'm still not kept at fire res. This one is better. It gives us dodge rating, physical damage, dexterity, necrotic res, and poison res. Every stat is good for us. The armor, try to use this kind of armor that gives us dodge rating and damage over time as implicit. It's very good for the bleed build. Also I have dexterity and increased damage while wielding a bow. We also have armor. I don't really need armor, but I couldn't find a better body armor yet, so I'm using this one, and physical res, just to keep our resistances at physical damage. This quiver that has chance to bleed on bow hit as an implicit is very good, with tier 7 increased bow attack speed and plus 12 to bow physical damage. That is very nice. And we also have tier 1 chance to bleed on hit. Again, not the best, but we can use it. We can have better. We can have tier 5 chance to bleed, but for now it's good. The helmet, again, this type of helmet with the increased damage over time and increased bleed duration is best we can use. And also try to get tier 6, tier 7 multi-shot. I only have tier 2, but it works for me. I have 21% endurance, this means tier 6, and also tier 6 at increased health. So those are good defensive stats that I'm using on the helmet. Here we have physical damage, damage over time, void res, and increased health regen that we don't use. But this is a good amulet overall. We also have physical resistance and necrotic resistance. And the last thing, the bow. I'm playing with this bow. I think you can get a better bow with implicits that you have a chance to bleed on hit. But for now I'm using this one. It has great attack speed, tier 7, bow physical damage plus 19, physical penetration, and also chance to bleed. This is a great bow for our build. Hard to find a better one or to craft one, but definitely you can do it. So this is the equipment. Moving on to the idols. We are using the idols just to cap out at our resistances because the items are not very good. So as you can see, I have fire res with health and also resistances with chance to bleed, void resistance chance to bleed, here health and elemental res as well, poison resist with chance to bleed with void resistance, and also fire res. And an important one for our damage is the singularity. As you can see now, I deal 29,700 damage per second with multi-shot. If I take this, I guess it doesn't show because I'm not. Oh no, it shows now. I guess I was lagging. It goes like 1,300 lower, so it's a good damage boost. And the last thing for the blessings, I am going for Grand Shadow of the Eclipse for dodge rating, then Grand Bastion of Divinity for lightning res to cap my resistances. Also here I have Grand Cruelty of Strength that I'm using right now, but I will use Hemorrhage of Marrow. As you can see, I found all these other Grand Blessings, but I didn't find this one yet. I only found it as a normal one. I really need a Grand Hemorrhage of Marrow. This is the best choice you can get for our build. And then we also have Endurance Threshold here. Nothing better that we can use. You can maybe use this one if you don't have cold res like me, but I still think this is better. I can always cap on resistances from the gear. And also Wait a second. You can get armor, but we don't have a lot of armor, so it's not very useful. And here we use Grand Swiftness of Logi. That increases our dodge rating. I only have 55% right now, but you can go to something like 70%. That is really nice. And as you can see, I have 540 bleed damage and 193% bleed chance, which is pretty good. That is the build, guys. It's not finished on my character, but everything in the guide will tell you what you need to know and how the build will look like when you will have all the gear that you need. For me it works right now. Let me show you how I do a monolith. Let me do an echo. I didn't progress very far in the game. I think I'm at only 116 corruption on this echo because I'm trying to farm my last blessing. As I told you, I'm trying to farm this one, the Grand Hemorrhage of Marrow, that I can find here. And yes, 167 corruption. Let's do one echo to show you how the build works. So you'll have to stay back and attack from far away and hope the monsters will die till they reach you. As you can see, they die from the bleed. Let's see. Then we throw the smoke. We use shift to dodge, and now we can just run around him and he will die from bleed. Now we kill the others. Again, they will die. And that's how the build works. You attack the monsters and stack the bleed on them, and they will basically die from the bleed stacks. Also, you will heal from the stacks. You can put a decoy if there are more monsters, go behind them and attack. If you have a rare monster, you can use flurry on it and stack some bleed, and then he will die after some time. Like I did. As you can see, I'm running and he will die. I'm pretty happy with the build. It's just not completed yet. But if you like it, you can complete. I don't think I'm gonna play much more on it. I'm going to move on to another build because it's a new game. I really want to check out what it has to offer, to try as many builds as possible. So here we use flurry. Okay, open the gate. We put a decoy and the smoke. We don't even see what we are attacking, but you don't need to see them. It's better not to see them. So here we attack the Wengari and he will die. if he runs after us. Again, we put the decoy there, they attack the decoy, we can stay here and attack them. Take the potion. So this is a rare one. We can use flurry, and he will die from the poison, from the bleed. Sorry. I almost died because I don't have that much life and endurance threshold. So that's the Echo. Like I said, I'm pretty happy with the build. Let me know what you think and what builds you're playing, and feel free to check my other videos. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments, or you can message me in the game. If you want to see more builds, you can subscribe to my channel. I will be posting some other builds every week. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.